What's up everyone? I was just editing the video and realized that I had lost all of the footage that came with the close-ups. So I re-recorded all of the close-ups, so they're going to be a little off from what I'm saying, but you'll get the gist of it. Hopefully you still enjoy. What's up everyone? Today we are doing an unboxing for CMON's newest game, Cthulhu Death May Die. Alright, so it's been a little while since we did an unboxing, and this just showed up at my front door. I just pulled it out of the big shipping box, and let's start diving right in. Cthulhu Death May Die was a pretty large Kickstarter. It had a lot of complaints in the comment section about the way that they handled the exclusivity of the gigantic Cthulhu miniature, which I did not get, so that one you will not see here, but turned out to be all okay because they ended up shipping relatively early, or like all at the same time or something like that, so it's pretty cool. But we do have the game, and if you haven't seen one of my unboxings before, the only thing that I do really differently than anybody else is that I don't spend a bunch of time talking about the game itself, much more about my impressions of the very first impression of opening these boxes, seeing what's in them, what I think about the quality, how it compares to other games and other CMON games, and we can go from there. So first off, I don't know if you can see this, but there is some severe damage to the cover of the box, and that is something that's incredibly frustrating. I understand that these boxes get shipped from all over the world, but the fact of the matter is that I didn't pay for a damaged box. I paid for a brand new box, and now my box is damaged. If I were to go to a local store and get this, they would not sell me a damaged box, or they would sell me one at a discount if I so choose to buy that box. So that's always a very unfortunate thing. I know that it comes with the territory of Kickstarters. This is my 25th, I think, Kickstarter that's been delivered to my house. So I definitely know that that's something that can happen. But nonetheless, it's quite annoying. What I do love, though, is that here on Cthulhu's eyes, they've actually done that gloss laminate there as well. So his eyes shine. I don't know if the camera's picking it up that well, but it's got the laminate there on the Cthulhu Death May Die logo as well. So, right on the top we have our player boards. Let's pull them open and see what they look like. Alright, so we have Adam, and then all the information about Adam on the back here. Rasputin, Elizabeth. So you get quite a few characters to start off with. These are a really thick cardstock. They're pretty much like a flyer that you would get, like a sales flyer that someone might have in their at their store. Let's see, are they different? Just trying to see what's different. Okay, so their abilities that are listed here are completely different from each other. They're all different. It looks like their health is the same. Maybe it's not for everyone. I haven't gone through everybody, obviously, but it looks like, just kind of skimming the pack, that they are. And then it looks like the top portion is the same as well. So I don't exactly know how to play this game yet, so I'm not going to talk too much about what each piece is, more like how it looks and what I think about it. So let's see. First impressions of the rule book. CMON usually does well-made rule books. Alright, CMON usually does well-made rule books, and this one is no different. We start out with a big table of contents, and then all the stuff that comes inside your game, and then starts going into what you're supposed to do. We've got... Looks like the book could actually have been smaller if they didn't put in all of this fluff, but I actually enjoy all of that fluff stuff being in there. That isn't something that I find as a negative. I'm just looking at, like, what's the size of the rule book, and therefore how long is it going to take you to learn how to play this game. And this overall looks like it's probably a pretty easy manual to learn. And then we have the nice rule summary on the back. Then we get this big wobbly sheet here. It looks like it says Elder 1 Minions, Episode Monsters, and Episode. So this is probably some sort of staging board here. It's about the same thickness as the other cards that we have. Next we have our tokens. They pop out well. So some nice thick card stock, or some cardboard stock I should say. And the artwork on them, the artwork's definitely nice. I'm just trying to compare it to Mansions of Madness, which is, you know, another Cthulhu-themed game by Fantasy Flight. And I think that it's pretty comparable, but just looking here, like this artwork here and on here looks very, like it's very able to be noticed that it's, what am I trying to say? This artwork here is clearly drawn. It's clearly not meant to look photorealistic. But then some things like this are more realistic. It feels like there's a little bit of disconnect in the art style. And it might be that they had multiple people working on this. Could be a lot of different things. But we have these big tiles here. Very neat. Alright, so this is what the game box then looks like. It's got tons of stuff in it. And first we have a big Cthulhu box. And then here's a Haster box. Looks like some minis. Here's all the episodes. And some more minis down here. So let's take a look at the sets of minis. See what that looks like. So it starts off with just a small pack of cards here. So I don't know if you're actually supposed to look at these, but the artwork on them is very nice. I really like these. They say on the back, Arkham Sanitarium Patient Medical Files A through F. And those sit on a little sheet right here on the top. And underneath that, we have our dice. The dice are clearly marked, able to be seen easily, the green and the black. And they roll. Yeah, they have that nice chunky sound to them. Oops. And then, of course, the very CMON thing to do is give you a bunch of things here so you know which character is yours. So we start with all of these little minis, so I can give you a zoom-in close-up of some of them. The quality is not unlike that of Zombicide. It's, of course, very good. That is what they're known for. Seeing very little flash, but I am seeing some overhang parts of where the molds were filled. But I'm seeing very little flash lines and seam lines on them. So let's see what's underneath. Alright, so we have all of these little markers that are, looks like tentacles, some tentacle markers. And here we have, I don't know what this is, but it's some sort of disgusting creature. It's very cool looking. And then these disgusting creatures with wings. I love the detail on the wings. It's very finely detailed. It's great. It looks like there's one more grouping underneath here. Okay, so here is your cultists. A couple different types of cultists. And then you have some, looks like deep ones. Yeah, deep ones. And then these are some sort of ghoul, maybe. Very cool. So, as always, as you would expect, tons of minis. It looks like here we've got some bigger ones. So the first mini in this big pack is this big giant guy, and of course, a piece is broken off of him. So wonderful. Super happy about that. here is... Ew, that's really gross. That is super gross right there. But very cool. Let's see what's underneath him. And then underneath him is these like flame spitters. There's fire here. These are really, really cool miniatures. I'm excited to play with these guys. Get them painted up. Alright, so let's see what's inside the Cthulhu box. Got more cards. And then minion cards. Looks like a small set of tokens. And then here's the minis. So he's got a really big seam right there. And then seams around his arms. And then seams underneath his head. And then there's also ones on his wings. So while he is really cool, that is going to take a lot of work if you want him to look perfect. Which you probably do because he's sort of the star of the show. I mean, he's on the cover of the box. Here is a minion of Cthulhu. Very cool as well. And then let's take a real quick look at one of these storylines here to see what comes in them. So we get some tokens. It tells you what monsters you're going to use. Tells you how to set it up and what you need to do. And then it looks like it comes with game cards for you to actually play the game. And so you get a bunch of these. There is altogether 6 episodes and 2 big boss monsters in the first set. And then we have the expansion box and the Kickstarter exclusive box. So let's open them up real quick and see if the quality stays the same. Alright, so here's the Unspeakable box. It's set up just like as if it was to be sold at retail. It's got all the people that you're supposed to know who they are on here. You have Al Capone, you have Albert Einstein. Alright, so as we go in, we see a giant stack. This is a huge stack of cards because there is a ton of characters in here to play as. And then there are these very awesome plastic sheets that sit on top of your character card like this. And then you have this to put your, well, I guess they go this way. Put this onto your sheet so that stuff doesn't get bumped. It really sucks that these do not come in the game for everyone, just for the people who back the Kickstarter, because this is the Kickstarter exclusive box. So this is all the stretch goals. So in the stretch goals, you get Yog-Sothoth and Dagon or Dagon. And then there are some lost episodes in here. Lost episode 1, lost episode 2, and happy birthday, lost episode 3, it says. And then you get some miniatures here. And, of course, the minis are just as good as the rest of them. I've never seen a situation where the minis in the stretch goals are worse than the minis in the main game. Let's pop open Dagon here. Wow, he is a monstrous beast. So here's Dagon. He does not have a base. I mean, he balances on the table without one, but I'm not sure if he's supposed to have one or not. So I'm going to look that up, because I might have been shorted a base, because he's got these little nubs here, but no base coming with him. And it's not in the box. I checked the box. So we may have had a problem there. And then let's see what's inside any of these lost episodes real quick. So inside the lost episode, you get more cool villains to fight and more storyline cards to play with. So just more of the same. Hopefully we all like it, and therefore that more of the same is actually a good thing. Let's tear in real quick to the expansion. The Death May Die Season 2 expansion. And we can see if this has anything different in it as well. Alright, so the Season 2 box looks a lot like the main box. It's white instead of black, and it has this very foggy version of Cthulhu. But what's interesting is that they didn't do that laminate over the logo on this one. So that's pretty interesting. Alright, so it comes with a huge box of stuff. And in here we have more tiles. Another big pack of player sheets for a whole nother group of people. And quite a ton of minis here. So a big old pack of minis on this one. We got these weird dog things there with their mouth shooting their tongue out. More heroes up in the front. And then, of course, the 6 episodes of Season 2, including Endgame. So, I don't know if Marvel signed off on that or not, but here we are. Alright, well, thank you guys so much for watching. What are my final thoughts on this game? Number one, I'm a little annoyed that the box was all bent up. What I do like about this one is that everything comes in a box that has artwork on it and has some sort of production value. If you remember my unboxing for Zombicide Invader, I was really annoyed that all of the Invader stuff just came in a blank cardboard box with the logo on the front that says civilian extras or whatever. And I don't think that that's acceptable, especially when this is the quality that they've shown they can do for the exact same amount of content. This has more content for less money than the Zombicide Invader Kickstarter did. So it's a little frustrating that happened. But speaking of this one, I am really happy with the fact that all of these boxes have unique artwork on them, tell you what's in them so that you can put it back if you need to. The miniatures look amazing, and I'm really glad to have some miniatures that are not exclusively fantasy or exclusively like cybernetic futuristic. It's really cool to have some sort of normal people. Sure, they have 1920s, 1930s vibe, but for the most part, they are normal people. And it's also neat to have some new monsters to deal with. And I can also use a lot of these guys in the game that I was talking about earlier, Mansions of Madness from Fantasy Flight, because they have the same monsters, but their monsters are really tiny and not of good quality. These are great quality miniatures. So, of course, it'll make the board look a little bit better. I have no idea how this game plays. I watched the playthrough of it when the Kickstarter was live, but that was almost a year ago at this point, maybe even more. I'm not 100% sure, but all of it's here. I'm super happy to go and check the little box on Kickstarter. Let me know in the comment section down below, did you back this game, and are you interested in seeing it being painted up? If so, let me know what you want to see painted first. I'm trying to get back into getting videos knocked out. I've just been working on my backlog up until now, just trying to get as many miniatures as I can done. So I would be happy to hear what you want to see painted, because then I can make that a priority. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you all next time. Hey, thanks for watching my videos. I greatly appreciate it. If you want to see more, make sure you subscribe so that you'll be alerted every time I release a new one. If you want to see 2 that have already been produced and were hand-picked by these 2 crazy kids, then you can click on the links here on the screen now. Otherwise, thank you so much for sticking around, and I'll see you all next time.